This is week 30 we're on here, guys. Welcome back. Y'all leveled up. I figure we should start with a little bit of time just figuring out, what exciting new things you all got at level 5 before we jump back into the action. So, Shay, what did you get this level?
Well, I got some skill increases. I'm slightly better at diplomacy. Ability boost, I got a buff to everything except for strength and dexterity, so I'm not quite as squishy. Barely.
Excellent.
I am also now trained in intimidation, and I have elven instincts. I get a +2 circumstance bonus to perception checks made as initiative rolls. And in a tie, I go first, regardless of whether I rolled perception.
Ah, nice. Lots of good stuff there. It sounds like just like all-rounder better, basically.
Yep.
Sweet. Ogden, what'd you get? Anything exciting?
Yeah. So I got skill increase that makes me now an expert at thievery, because it seems to be I am the one that disables traps. So, having a +13 to that doesn't hurt. I got dark vision because of my dark seer ancestry feat. Ability boosts that gave me some more health and just all around better. And I got weapon mastery, which hours spent training with your preferred weapon, learning combat techniques, have made you particularly effective with the weapon of your choice. Choose one weapon group. Your proficiency rank increases to master with the simple weapons, martial weapons, and unarmed attacks in that group. To expert with advanced weapons in that group, you gain access to critical specialization effects of all weapons and unarmed attacks for that weapon mastery.
Oh. Wow, that's crazy. So you have really high attack bonuses now then.
Yeah. I have a +16.
Oh wow. Okay, so Ogden's never missing again, is what I'm hearing.
My third multi-attack penalty is +8, by the way.
Hell yeah. Especially with the monsters that are probably left in this adventure all being mostly tuned for like level 4. You're just gonna crush everything. It's gonna be great. Awesome. That is very exciting. Jib, what did you get?
I got a skill increase to acrobatics, expert strikes. I have expert perception now. And what are the... is ability boost like an actual boost to my ability score?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let me boost that to strength and con.
Sweet.
Hell yeah. And my ancestry feat, which is the fun thing I took, is tailspin. I can use my tail as a weapon to upend my foes, attempt a single athletics check to trip up to 2 adjacent creatures. And if I roll a success, I get a critical success against them instead.
Oh, sick. So you're just really good at knocking people up with your tail. Hell yeah. Cool. Good stuff, good stuff. Ayala, what'd you get?
I got more air.
Let's go.
Now, to add some slight description, whenever an ally starts their movement in my channeled elements, we get a 10-foot movement speed boost for the turn.
Oh, sweet.
Which is pretty great.
More free movement.
Also, my aura makes attacks with ranged weapons at me take a -1 circumstance penalty.
Oh, that's handy. You can, like, knock arrows out of the air with your wind.
Also, it's difficult terrain in there now. for flying
Oh.
creatures.
Oh, for flying creatures. I was going to say, okay, if we have now 2 of our characters in this party causing difficult terrain, that would be kind of chaotic. But for flying creatures, okay, that does make it a little easier to deal with. Okay. Sweet.
I did also want to ask a clarification.
Yes.
So I looked at the critical specialization, and it says any weapon, any sword that I have mastery on, they are flat-footed against me. So both of my swords that I use are martial weapons, and I have mastery proficiency, so that everyone is just off foot.
Yeah, so critical specialization, I believe, happens when you crit. I need to look this up again because I want to make sure, but yes, when you make a strike with a weapon and get a critical success, you get your critical specialization effect if you have access to it, which depends on the weapon you're using and all that stuff. So yes, critical specialization. Where is that on this table here? Okay. This is not being particularly helpful with the thing I'm looking at, but yes, so does it have a duration listed, or is it just flat-footed to you?
It doesn't say it on Foundry, but when I look on Path Builder, it says target is made off balance by your attack, becoming flat-footed until the start of your next turn.
Okay, so that sounds correct then. So yeah, whenever you crit something, they become off guard until the start of your next turn. Yep. And every
Awesome.
weapon has a different effect like that once you unlock its critical specialization. Yeah. Cool stuff. And since you have a very high attack rating, you're probably going to crit a decent amount. Cool. All right, so that's all the leveling up stuff that happened, which is great. I know we're kind of in the middle of the action here, but just for the sake of time, leveling up after that encounter, the amount of XP you would have gotten from it would have done it. And it's more fun to just do that between weeks than to have you guys do like 20 minutes of chasing and then just level up. So, what happened last week is you guys were in this dungeon, the Scar, this cult of Lamashtu's hiding place, their headquarters, and you've been killing your way through. You've killed some ogres, some kobolds, some harpies, some owlbears, all sorts of different creatures in here, and you finally made your way back to a chamber that was sort of like a temple. It had like an altar up at the front. It had like incense holders and things, like all that kind of stuff, all burning up at the front. And there were a couple of figures in there. There was an ogre and a bugbear who confronted you originally, and then eventually it was revealed that actually a jackal was hiding behind the scenes here and was waiting to see how you would respond to his lieutenants before coming out to engage you. So you engaged with his lieutenants, and then Muiba, the jackal, came out, the three-eyed jackal, and engaged you directly, tried to talk you into joining the cult, basically. He told you all that your acts of charging into their home here and just murdering your way through, not really seeking peace in any of the encounters, and so on and so forth, just he proclaimed you all to be the real monsters here, basically, and tried to turn things on you. But he said, you've proven yourself to be monsters. Do you want to join our monster cult? So he didn't want vengeance against you. He just wanted you to join his side and realize that perhaps your ways were not as pure as you had hoped. But you all resisted his charming words and his rhetoric, and you decided to punch him in the face. You started by killing his lieutenants, and then you did a hell of a lot of damage to him while he charmed Jib to his side. He seems to be mostly a charmer. He's got a lot of enchantment magic, that kind of stuff. But eventually, you dealt enough damage to him that he decided to flee the scene. He just ran out of there as much as he could, leaving Eshe bleeding into the stone floor, and got out the front door. So, what we're going to do here is we are going to... Yes, and stuns and slows. Yeah, he was a very heavy control build. Exactly. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to have each of you roll... Actually, do I just have the initiative from last time? Because that would be very convenient. Okay. Can I unlink? Yes, I can. Okay, sweet. So here on our landing page, we'll have the encounter tracker going. We will start with Ogden's turn, and then we will do this as a chase scene. So how chase scenes work is essentially it's a skill challenge. We're going to go in initiative order, and there's going to be obstacles that are in your way that Weeba will be making progress on as well, independently. And you need to, as a team, roll skills against these obstacles to get past them faster than Weeba does, basically. And then that way you'll catch up to him. And I'll be tracking some points and numbers to track progress behind the scenes, and I can give you a narrative description of where you all are and stuff. But that's basically the idea. Just get ready to come up with, the action you're going to take on your turn. You're not going to get like a real 3-action turn so much as like, what skill are you going to roll here to try and help? Or spell or attack or whatever one thing you want to do to help get past this. And generally you want to focus on things that'll help your whole team move forward. It gets a little messy if you split up too much, because it's all about having your team catch up to their team, essentially. So we don't need to get into the weeds of the description. We can just start. So Ogden, you see as you rush around a corner into that hallway where that fire trap was that you dismantled, Mueba just disappear around the corner outside, rushing out into the underbrush out there. You see Ayala is chasing him. You have Jib behind you. What are you doing?
So I have the Bracelet of Dashing still active. That gives me plus 10 feet of movement for 1 minute.
Okay.
So I guess I just want to try to run after him.
Okay. Due to the magic item, and you're using like a buff here to move faster, I'm not going to make you roll. I'm going to say your action here is just like activating the bracelet and charging after him. So I'll add 1 point for your progress here. And he just kind of disappears into the brush as you exit the place. And you can see the brush is very thick here. You're trying to like wade through this thick, almost jungle-like area. It's just lots of different crazy plants in here, and Mueba appears to be pretty adept at ducking into the terrain and hiding. So you're having trouble tracking him down. Jib, you are in the building and you're rushing out. You see again Ogden rushing up the stairs. Ayala's right nearby. And Mueba has disappeared into the trees somewhere. What are you doing?
Jib is going to try and use his acrobatics to try and just like vault over the brush and kind of swing around with his tail to try and see if he can find Muba in the underbrush.
All right, give me an acrobatics check. That is a success. So you gain 1 more point in progress, catching up towards Mueba. So you're swinging around between the trees, and you manage to spot him darting between some of the larger trunks off to the north. So you point him out to the rest of your team. Everyone heads in that direction, but the Mueba's very fast. You all are having trouble catching up. Eshe, you just like gasp and awake on the floor of this dungeon, and then as you hear your friends running away, you bolt out to catch up with them. What are you doing to help catch up to Mueba?
Sorry. Thinking, trying to see what I can use. If I wanted to taunt him into coming back for us, what kind of role would that be?
Intimidation, possibly? Or, let's see, what do you got? I guess it depends on what you're actually going for here. Are you trying to, intimidate him? Or are you trying to convince him to come back? Like, what's the angle?
Probably preying on a sense of pride, like Lao, a disciple of Lamash 2, running away.
I see, okay. I mean, sure, yeah, you can roll intimidation for that.
All right.
Essentially a demoralize action type beat.
Any way I can do something like guidance, or this is just a straight roll?
Just a straight roll in this circumstance, yeah. You could spend your turn guiding someone else, but yeah, in this case, it'll just be that. All right.
Turns out I didn't need to worry.
You did not need to worry. That is a critical success. So you actually get 2 points in progress towards catching up to Wimba. He stops in his tracks ahead while everyone else is catching up, and he turns around and shouts back, "Us scions of Lamashtu are used to running and hiding. Your society won't let us exist as we are." And you caught him kind of monologuing for a bit. He just goes on for a few seconds about Lamashtu and all the reasons he has to justify his actions. And he of course has justifications for everything, no matter how vile it is. But he realizes that he's been just monologuing for a second as you guys get closer, and then he ducks behind another tree and keeps running. Hey, Ella, what are you going to do to help?
Can I use my aura and four winds to make the wind propel us forward more quickly?
Sure. Just give everybody a speed boost.
Yeah.
Do a bit of a Lucio. Okay, yeah, since that's a spell and there's no real roll associated with it, I'll just give you 1 point for free on that. Just like when Ogden hit his bracelet. So, you guys rush forward again, chasing after him as he ducks behind a tree, and you guys exit the woods. Well, I guess you're still in the woods, but you come upon like a ravine out here in the woods, and there is a rope bridge stretched across it, and he has just gotten to the other side, and he's biting one of the ropes, and he sees you guys get to the other side of the rope bridge, and he finishes chewing through one of the ropes, but there's still one rope holding the bridge, and since you're here, he takes off, he snarls at you and takes off into the woods deeper. So there's now a rickety rope bridge between you and him that's kind of swaying with one rope attaching it. And then Ogden, what do you want to do to help your team across this?
I have steady balance, so you keep your balance easily even in adverse conditions. When you roll a success using the balance action, you get a critical success instead. So what is balance? Acrobatic?
Yeah, so you could do acrobatics. That's fine. I will say... Yeah, we could do just everybody rolls to get across. That's an option here. If you want to do something that helps your team across, it would help more. But if you just want to get yourself across, that's an option too. Just laying out your options here.
Yeah.
Like if, for example, if you got over there and you wanted to like repair the rope or something, or tie it down again, or I don't know, they're like you got options. You're a crafter,
How wide is this
right?
ravine?
It is a 15-foot gap.
Yeah, I would like to attempt an acrobatics check to get over and repair the rope.
Okay.
Or is that too many actions in one turn?
I think because of your steady balance feat, I'll just give you going across for free. I like that idea. You just run along the ropes. You're just already sure of your footing. You get over there, and then if you want to roll crafting to repair it, absolutely.
Crafting.
All right, that is a critical success. So over there, you quickly tie the ropes back together, and just like you have a sturdy knot, you pull the rope up, and the bridge reattaches. And now you think it might not hold long term, but it should hold to get your team across. And so everybody crosses the bridge, and you chase after Mweepa once again, who disappears into the woods as you all are crossing. You hear him shout as he runs. "The blessing of Lamashtu will set me free." And something behind you, you hear this dark sound, almost like a scream in the distance, but very low, like a very breathy, deep scream of someone just exhaling. And there's like a spark of, or like a beam of darkness that rises up into the sky from the scar. It looks very similar to when you guys came here originally, when this whole place was desolate and in ruins and it all looked like the abyss and all that kind of stuff. This beam of darkness lifts up into the air and splits open the sky, and that same kind of fog descends on the area. That same dark magic that you had dispelled a few days previous has returned. So you all stop in your tracks as these painful thoughts start flashing in your mind once again, causing you to stumble and not be able to focus on running. Jib, what do you want to do to help push forward?
Jib is going to use his gorilla stance and then go all big and try and use his strength to try and push the boulders out of the way. Can I use athletics for that?
Okay. Yeah, you're just gonna, like pushing some things out of the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, clearing a path.
Was there like, I thought there was a bunch of rocks in it.
Yeah, sorry, you may have misheard. I mean, there probably is some kind of stuff in your path. We could imagine that, but the current obstacle is that your minds are being assaulted by like the magic of the abyss, kind of like when you arrived here.
Oh, I totally misheard.
All good.
He is going to start monkey shrieking to try and get everyone's attention
Okay.
and break them out of this spell.
Okay, I like it. So just get them to focus on your monkey shrieks instead.
Exactly.
Ooh, okay, that sounds like maybe like performance or something. I'm not sure exactly.
I'm really sad now that I didn't take the loud finger ancestry feat.
That would have been awesome. Oh, so close.
But performance.
I think performance makes sense for this. Okay, and that is a success. So,
all right.
You start monkey shrieking, and everybody just, even though it's like a kind of shrill sound, it's a better sound than the like violent magic that is pouring into everyone's heads right now. So everyone's able to focus on that, and it gives you all something to, like a rock to cling to mentally in this space, like something that's not swirling through the abyss, something steady, a friend, the sound of a friend. So you guys make some progress on that. Shay, what are you doing?
I would like to trace quickly an occult ritual to get rid of the black magic, kind of overpower it and
All right.
dispel it.
Give me that occultism check. Oof. Would you like to hero point?
Yes, I will.
All right. Well, that is still a fail, but not a critical fail. And in the case of a failure, no progress is made or lost. It's just neutral. The critical failure would have lost you progress and made it worse, so that is an improvement. But you're just tracing these runes, and just you feel like this magic is different. You expected it to be the same as last time when you and Ayla and Ogden, everybody worked together to dispel this magic. This one's different somehow, and it's not responding to your occultic rituals in the same way. Ayla, what are you going to do to help?
Oh, jeez. Can I use Whisper on the Wind to whisper at Weeba and tell him that he can't escape and make a demoralize action?
Yeah, you could roll intimidation.
Heck yeah. Intimidation.
Oh my god. Okay, well that is a critical success. You whisper this on the wind, and you can see The terrain you're standing in right now, like I said, it's desolate, it's gray, all the color has been sucked out of it, all of the leaves have fallen off the trees due to the presence of the abyss in this place. It is a cursed, dead version of the landscape you had seen previously. And so now you can kind of see Muiba running around, right? He's dashing between dead trunks of trees and rocks that are crumbling and eroding away. And when you whisper this to him, he stops and he turns around. He climbs up onto a nearby boulder and just stands up over the trees around so you can clearly see him. And he looks down at you with his 3 eyes and he says back, I may not need to escape if you all wallow in this place. Feel the fury of Lamashtu and know if you had accepted her, things could have been different. It's not too late. But he's just kind of standing up there on that rock. He's now you've goaded him into like confidently watching you all like get hurt by this magic instead of trying to take his opportunity to escape. Ogden, what are you doing?
Alright. I don't know if you're going to let me cook on this, but there are two of my feats that work very well in tandem with each other. Terrain Stalker and Shadow Mark. I kind of want to try to sneak away from the group and try to flank him.
Okay. I mean, I will definitely allow it. I'm going to make it a pretty high DC just because right now the obstacle is your mind is being assaulted by dark magic, right? And this doesn't do anything to stop that. This is just ignoring it, so it's going to be hard to like move when your mind is being bombarded, right? If that makes any sense.
But I have the bravery, so the frightened is reduced by 1. So I don't know if that.
Okay, you know, I'll make it a little less. It's still going to be harder than if you tried to tackle the like darkness, but yes, I'll let your bravery make it an easier check too. Absolutely.
Okay. That
is a regular success. So you're sneaking up from tree to tree while Muiba is looking down at Ayala. Ayala's distracting him, and Ogden sneaks closer and closer. You're almost caught up to him, but as you get closer, just that darkness is pounding in your skull, and it's making it very hard for you to move. You're almost like cowering back behind a tree, like you're looking at something way too bright, and you're using the tree for shelter. Weeba's just going to stand there for now, because he was goaded into doing so, and then Jib, it's your turn.
Jib is going to try to... Is he within reach of us?
He's not particularly within reach, no. And your mind is currently being, like, pounded on by dark magic. You can try to push through it and do something else not related to the dark magic, like I said with Ogden, but it's just going to be a higher DC to do so, because that's hard.
He's gonna push through it and try and climb up to where he is, because he's got high ground on this thing.
Yeah, he's standing up on top of a pretty large boulder.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and climb up the boulder and break through it.
Okay. Honestly, this sounds almost like a will save or some kind of save to like resist the darkness enough to move up towards him. If that sounds all right with you.
Sure.
Unless you had another skill in mind. All right. All right.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
That is. Oh, you're gonna hero point?
Can I get a hero point? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we start with 2 or 3?
2. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, that is a success. So you push through, and instead of sneaking up on him, you're taking advantage of the distraction Ayla has made, but you're just kind of stepping forward, and you walk up pretty much past Ogden. Muiba still doesn't know Ogden's there, but Jib kind of starts climbing up that boulder, just hand over hand. It's a slow climb, not like Jib usually does, where he bounces around and scatters up things very quickly. This time, you're laboring with every movement to push through this just absolutely throbbing pain in your head. But you're getting closer, and Weeba's just looking down at you, and you're almost to him. but you didn't get a critical success. You're not quite on him. Ashay, what would you like to do? You see all of your allies languishing in this pain, or anguishing, whatever the word is.
I would like to connect with the goddess Pharasma, the source of my power, and see if I'd like to basically pray for divine intervention or a spark of something, a spark of knowledge, since that's her domain, that will help me undo the magic.
Okay. That sounds pretty religion-y to me, if that is what you're going for.
Yep.
All right. That is a success. So you make this prayer. Jib's shrieks kind of giving you that rock to lean against, that, you know, the sound of a friend nearby instead of the swirling chaos around you. You use that calm to make this prayer to Pharasma. And we see Ashay. Your mystery is the mystery of ash, right? Not fire.
Correct.
So we see, like, a ring of ash start to expand outwards from Ashay. Now, the whole land around you is kind of desolate and blackened, not like it's been burned away, but just kind of like because it's died. And now everything is just turning to ash, as if it was already burned weeks ago, months ago. Just this expanding ring, all the tree trunks begin to burn away, but there's no embers, there's no heat, there's just ash. The rocks begin to crumble into this, the presence of this entropy that Ashay is emitting. And you start to just kind of overwrite the effects of this area with your magic versus Muiba's magic kind of clashing with each other. And as your bubble of influence expands, you're giving your friends some more... you're giving them some space to think. Now they just have to deal with the smell of ash and maybe choking on it instead of the dark magic pounding their skulls, which is much, much easier now. Ayala, what are you doing?
Can I try and use an arcane ritual to overwrite the magic?
Absolutely.
Can I hero point that?
You can hero point that. Okay, so you're given some more space to think by Ashay creating that bubble of ash around everything. But still, you take out, you know, like your notes, you start to scribbling down some formulas and trying to figure out what kind of ritual you can do here. But it just, you're not coming up with anything that's finding any purchase in this magic. Nothing that's actually dismantling it. It seems that Muiba being the source of this magic is difficult for you to deal with right now. You'll need to find another way. Ogden, you've snuck up kind of close to Muiba, and you've been given some space to think, thanks to Ashay. What would you like to do?
Keep sneaking up and attempt to slash if I can get close enough.
Alright. That sounds pretty stealth to me.
Fire!
That is a success. So you sneak up behind him. We'll say that Jib now. You're climbing up the front of this rock, and Muiba looks down the front of the rock at Jib, laboring hand over hand to climb up this rock, and he just starts to chuckle. I keep telling you it's not too late. And then, Ogden, which blade do you stab Muiba with?
The smoking sword.
So Muiba is standing there laughing at Jib when all of a sudden a smoking sword stabs through his neck from the back and just sticks out the front. Muiba chokes, and the darkness that was enveloping this region suddenly dissipates as he was maintaining that spell, and it just fades up into the sky, then splits back open again, and the regular sky is above you, and the darkness just kind of fades away like a fog that has been split in half and is just kind of rolling away. Muiba looks back at you and growls. Says, It will not end this way. Lamashtu, save me, please. Lamashtu. He just keeps on, as you hold him there with your blade, he just keeps on praying to Lamashtu over and over again, asking for deliverance, fading quieter and quieter until he no longer moves. And you all have ended the chase scene. What do you do?
How far away from the crack did we get?
A couple 100 feet, probably. A few, like several 100 feet.
Hmm. I mean, we still got some rooms in there to look at. I know a lot of us are hurt, and it's probably afternoon, evening now.
Something like that. We'll say also is just a fun touch on this moment here. Weeba's darkness has faded from this area, but like the few dozen feet of influence that Ashay opened up praying to her god, that's still all burned away like ash. Like there's just like a circle of ash, very similar to the circles of ash Ashay has left in many places.
I do still have the Curse of Creeping Ashes up.
Perfect.
So there is that too.
I like to think you reach some like hidden fourth level of your curse or something temporarily from that prayer.
That's next level.
Ah, there you go.
All right. Well, if we're gonna do this, I'll just patch us up real quick. I am going to do a 3-action heal.
Sweet.
For 3 points. But that means everybody gets 3 points.
Hell
So
yeah.
for 12 points.
So after healing up, you just heading back to the scar?
I will probably do one more.
All right.
Three more points.
Can I attempt to use my wand of healing on Eshe?
Absolutely.
I'm the one who knocked her out in the first place.
I forgot about that. It was a gamble that did not pay
Heck.
off.
I'll use my secret backup heal.
Ah, trick magic item.
Trick magic item. Does 22 pass?
Yay! It does.
Heck yeah.
Barely, but it does.
Oh god. And it's 2 actions. So we'll roll 2 for 25 health.
Sheesh.
And then can I hero point that?
Sure, you can spend your hero point on that. I won't stop you. Oh no. I believe that fails everyone's passive perception. So Ayala, describe how they see you fail tricking this magic item. Like very obviously. Or well, how they see behind your magic trick basically. Like what do you fumble?
Yeah. I go to pull out my wand of healing, look at it and think to myself, oh well the magic's out for the day. So I might as well you know, I have to heal her somehow. I'm a wizard, of course. So I flip through my spellbook till I find the right runes for heal, and I look at it and uh, cast the spell, and the runes on the page sort of burn away as I finish casting, and I get some embers on myself.
Oh.
I have to shake my hand a little to put it out. Everything is fine.
So I believe this is the first time you all have actually noticed Ayala is not a wizard.
It's just that they notice I used a or a spell scroll,
Mm,
not that I'm not a
true.
wizard.
True, true.
Are you sure we should go through with this? If you're using scrolls, you're probably pretty tapped out.
Um, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I just didn't prepare enough spell slots for heal for the day, you know? I knew it would be intense, I just didn't think it would be this intense. Also, I thought it was important that I, you know, help you get back up a little bit since I kind of lightninged you back there. Sorry again.
I told you to.
You may have told me to, but I still feel bad about it.
Oh, I appreciate the healing. Um, if we have some time, I'd like to meditate for a couple minutes. Or are we just going straight back in?
That
How
is
many
fine.
minutes is a couple minutes?
10, probably.
Heck yeah, that means I can heal someone with nature who wants to get healed. Or injured, depending on how I roll.
Yeah, I'll take healing.
All
Can
right,
I
so you
attempt
have
to
to.
heal Gib?
You have to walk like maybe 50 feet away to get fresh ingredients because the ones near you are made of ash, but you can do that.
That won't take that long. Uh...
Are you out of hero
Oh,
points?
yeah. It's okay. At this rate, I would have rolled another nat one just to keep the streak going.
F. Okay, so you do wound Jib while trying to heal him. Maybe you like get some ash in the wound or something like that. It just sucks.
Sorry about that.
So how much damage do you do?
I don't
It
know. How
hurts
much
when
damage
you-
do I do?
You have to roll the healing.
I
Oh,
think
God.
it's D8, but yeah, it should be listed on. It depends on what level of cure wounds you did and all that kind of stuff. So
I
I assume
don't know how to check.
since you didn't specify you're using a higher version of treat wounds, that'll just be the 15, so just a D8.
Okay. D8. 5 damage. Is this risky surgery?
This is not risky surgery, but classic. Let's see.
I will
Okay,
chug a
so
health potion while this is.
Jib is immune to treat wounds for an hour regardless of if you succeed or fail.
Yeah.
So, chugs a health potion during this time. I guess Jib was being treated, so yeah, not much room for him to move around and do stuff. But okay, so y'all meditate and do stuff for 10 minutes, and then is it back to the scar?
Can I hand Jib a healing potion out of shame?
Thanks. Oh, this works way better.
Aw.
I like to think that AO was like, no, we don't need the canned stuff. We're gonna get the fresh ingredients from nearby. It's like, okay, fine, you can have the canned stuff.
Okay, I will get rid of my healing potion then. ALS no good, very bad day.
So far. Back to the scar. Activate the map. Boom.
Uh,
All right, there you
my
are. You're
bracelet
in.
is no longer active because I believe that was more than a minute chase scene.
Oh yes, yeah, that makes sense.
And we also spent 10 minutes meditating and healing. Or taking damage.
Yeah. All right. And Jib is no longer whatever that effect is. Friendly. Friendly to Weeba, because Weeba is dead. All right.
No
So-
monster.
Yes, no more monster.
I forgot that I got more spells on the level up, so I have
Hey.
wasted that.
Alrighty.
No.
So yeah, there's a couple rooms left for you to explore in here. You also kind of ran out of the temple room, so you might want to investigate that more, but yeah. Options. Where are you going?
Forward.
Ooh.
Why is everyone concealed?
Because they're near Ashay, I think.
Oh no, I'm concealed. What? Oh wait, is this you, Ayla?
That's not concealment, that's Aura Junction Air.
Ah,
Oh,
you're protected from.
plus
No,
10-foot
it's-
status bonus to land and fly speed.
Yeah.
Ah, speed boost.
Wee.
You stand near me and you get to go fast for your turn.
Back to the temple.
Did you
Zoomies.
just run through a wall?
He was very fast.
It looked like you went diagonally through it.
That's just how fast he was going.
Just casual no clip.
Here, I'll just catch Jib up as well.
That's how you
Zoom.
speed run.
All right, here in the temple. What do you guys want to check?
Can I check out the altar?
Sure. Give me a perception check.
I'm gonna look for any valuables.
Oh, can we
Uh,
have retroactively looted Moiba?
Yes, he didn't have anything on him. He was a jackal.
Jackals
enough.
don't
He
have
doesn't have pockets. Yeah.
pockets.
But he wasn't like wearing a necklace or a headdress or like he wasn't wearing anything. He was just yeah. So yeah, we'll say you retroactively just check to see if you had anything like hidden or whatever, but no.
I think you guys can get rid of guidance immunity if you have it as well. Maybe?
I think that's less than an hour. You guys spent maybe
Okay.
a half hour.
Okay.
Okay. So, Ogden and Ayala, you two are looking around the room, looking over the bodies, all that stuff. The bodies do have some equipment on them, because these creatures do wear things, this bugbear and this ogre. So if any of you want some armor, weapons, whatever, to just sell later, you can pocket those, of course. Feel free to do that at your own pace. However, looking around the room further, Ogden, you take a peek behind these like what do you call them, like screens, these like paper screens in the back of the room, and they're like folding screens are just stood up, they're not like sturdy or anything, so you just scrunch them aside and look back there. There are like piles of furs and things on the ground there, and like piles of clothes and things like that, all bloody. You start to kind of pick through it, and like these clothes look interesting. This looks like the the garments of a priest of Sarenrae, for example, or like this looks like, oh wait, this looks like a bard's outfit, and you kind of pick through, and You very quickly figure out this pile of clothing is all of the clothes that belonged to the previous group of adventurers that came here, like Theta, the paladin, and her group. There's also some kind of scattered weapons in the pile, but they appear like they're intentionally broken. Like all the blades were like stomped on by something heavy that snapped them and things like that. They're all like purposefully ruined. Their armor has been like torn to shreds and just no longer usable. But this is, you don't see any bodies here. You don't find the remains, but this is all that does remain of them you've been able to find so far. You do find a couple of their possessions were not smashed senselessly. There's like a pouch you find, and there's a few things in there. A couple of healing potions. There's a vial of some kind of oil that you might have to identify. It's like a gray, almost silvery substance in a jar, but like oily instead of like metallic. There's a decent pile of gold, 73 gold, which I can just add to the stash. And you'll also find the sun wheel that you were looking for, that Vandy sent you here in search of.
Mm.
Do you?
I will,
Yep. What do you pick up?
I will take one of the healing potions, give another one to Ayala, and then take the sun wheel and the gold, I guess.
All right.
And hand the potion or whatever to Ishay, the oil, for identification.
All right, gave you one of those. All right, so yeah, you can check the item if you wish. Ashay, if you'd like to identify that, it'd be a crafting check,
I will
please.
be using Identify Alchemy.
Okay.
What kind of skill is that?
Crafting, probably. All right, so you recognize this to be an oil of mending. It basically casts the spell mending on something when you pour it over it, which can repair an object. Basically, it doesn't really repair people. It is not like a healing thing, but if you needed to fix like a broken shield or anything like that, you could just pour it over that and get something patched up. I'll add that to your inventory.
And there's enough for just one object?
Yes. Let me double check that, but I think so. Yeah, applying the oil to an item casts a second rank mending spell. It has one use. I'm also just going to add the second potion to Ogden just so somebody has it and I don't forget it. You can transfer it later if you need it. So also in the pile, I can add the gold to your stash. I'll just do that now. There's the sun wheel. Who wants to pick that up?
I'll take it.
All right. As soon as you touch it, you feel like a pleasant.
Say he was taking that, or?
Oh, I mean, if he did, I didn't hear him. Did you take that, Ogden?
Yeah.
Okay, then you have the sun wheel. I thought you picked up the other thing.
No, I grabbed one potion, handed one to Ayala, handed the oil to Ishay, and then picked up the sun wheel.
Okay. Sorry, I have too many plates spinning. There we go. Now it's all done. What's up?
I just said, it's okay.
Oh, okay. Only the it got through, so I was like, huh? Okay, so Ogden, then, when you pick up the sun wheel, you feel like a pleasant warmth wash over you. Like, it's almost like you are like standing in a room that is like not outdoors, but there's like a nice big window, and the sun is streaming in through that window and just kind of making you very warm in the sun. That kind of feeling, but not too hot. That's kind of the feeling you get just when you hold this thing.
Mm.
And you can see on the item, which is in your inventory, if you invest in it, you actually like attune to it and all that stuff, you can essentially get like a shield spell that kind of casts for you, sort of. Like the amulet casts it instead of your casting it, basically. It's got some other things. You can like respond with fire damage when you're attacked, and some other things. You also get a +1 bonus to religion checks.
You do need to one action concentrate to get the shield, but
yes, yeah.
I have seen a Shay use shields before. I might hand it to a Shay.
All right. Transfer.
Were we supposed to like get this and return it to someone?
Vandy wants to, yes.
Oh, we can use it for the rest of the dungeon.
True.
Okay. Yeah, I will invest in it. How long does that take?
1 action.
Okay. I spend an action to invest.
Yeah, isn't that nice? You don't need to like spend an hour. You just like, yes, I'm equipping this. Done. So, okay. So there you go. You get that added.
Can you invest in armor before you finish equipping it?
If I recall correctly, it's essentially investing in an item takes the amount of time it takes to equip it, and it happens during that process, basically. I could be misremembering these rules slightly, but that's my understanding, at least.
That would
Just
make
like-
sense. I'm just looking for jank opportunities.
I think it's like you're like, as you're putting on the armor, you're like doing some ritual of putting on the armor. Like you put on the pieces like very carefully one at a time, and like there's like an order to it and that kind of thing that activates the magic. Or instead of just putting the necklace on, you put it on very gingerly and like make sure it's all adjusted properly, and like that activates magic. That there's some sort of ritual to it, and that causes it to activate. Cool. So you found stuff in here. You're pretty sure that's all that's in here. Ayla, you took a look at the altar here, but it appears pretty normal. It actually, interestingly, just based on your like passive religion DC, it doesn't actually appear to be like an altar to anything in particular, which is strange. It just kind of is a stone altar here, and you kind of wonder if perhaps this place was more just meant for sacrifices or ritual executions or something in the past, rather than like an actual like religious person, if that makes any sense at all. Like whoever created this place originally just kind of added this because it seemed like a good idea to have, rather than like being super religious for whatever reason. So that's something else you could dig into if you wanted more details here, but yeah, something weird about that.
I put the other healing potion in the stash if anyone wants to take it, grab it, because I only want one.
Fair enough. Anything else to do in this room, or are y'all moving on?
I think I'm good to move on.
Would you say
Good to move on.
someone might want to grab it because it is bulk, so you don't want to leave it in the party?
I think I actually double added that to Ashay's inventory already, so we're good there. I'll just delete
okay.
it. I added it to your inventory and Ashay's inventory, so oops. All right, where to next, adventurers? You kicking it down? You sneaking? What are you doing?
Snick.
Kicking
All right.
it out.
Give me a stealth check if you'd like to, sneakily check the door.
Stealth sneak check.
So you creak it open a little bit, and you can see it's pretty well lit in there. There's a bunch of different torches, much better lit than the room you're currently in, even though this one's no slouch. It's much better lit, kind of like the room you came from on the left side, that marble room over there. And you can see it's, even though it's very well lit, it's like a partially unfinished room. It's kind of odd shaped. It's like they've been digging out parts of it, but they haven't quite gotten it to the shape that's ready yet. And you can see some of the architecture was here originally, but then they knocked down some walls and have just started scraping out more tunnel space to make it a larger room. And it's just very a weird mishmash of things in this room. On the opposite corner, there's a like a wooden barrier, only a few inches tall, just kind of sticking up out of a big puddle of muck in the ground. Like it's just a wooden barrier that's there to keep the muck inside, like a little muck pool. There's a large like hay bed that's just kind of like a pile of hay with a blanket over it, basically, in another corner. Which again, this stuff looks very weird against the clearly more like nicely manufactured walls here, and then there's just this really like dirty like bed and dirty like muck pit and stuff. You immediately upon the opening the door as well smell a very strong odor of manure. Yeah, you can also see, I guess, in there's a large green creature who's just kind of something between a monster and a beast. I can show you an image actually. It looks like this. Who is currently throwing some scraps of food into the muck pit.
Adorable.
Okay, is it facing towards the door or away from it?
It's currently facing away from the door. It's kind of like tossing scraps of food into the muck pit with its back to you.
Okay. Well, I will close the door and relay information to the group. Shall we go in? Is this one just a single door as opposed
Just
to
a
the other ones
single.
that have been double?
Yeah.
Okay.
We might as well clear this place out so that it's not much harder for the cult to restart itself.
All right. Well, I will attempt to open the door all the way quietly. Is that another stealth check or the same one?
You can keep the same one. That's fine. So if you're sneaking into the room, you can open it up and you can see that creature in the corner over there.
Okay. I guess I will walk into the room.
All right, so you're sneaking in. They haven't noticed you yet because you're very sneaky.
I don't want to get too close and too far away from the party, but no, I'm just gonna keep.
Are you
going
trying to
on.
surprise this creature, or are you just gonna keep moving away?
I guess I will try to surprise it.
All right, so I guess my question is, sorry, you moved down towards the store. I didn't know if you're gonna sneak just to the next door, or if you want to surprise it. Are you like trying to jump out and attack it? Like, what's your surprise?
Yeah,
All right.
assuming everyone else is on board with.
Yeah, so you all see Ogden sneak up and like get into position, ready to strike, and just kind of look back at you all. What are you doing?
I'll take out my spell book and give him the go-ahead nod.
Yep. I'll nod and gesture for Jib to be the next through the door.
Come on over and gorilla stance up.
Can I also pre-combat turn to my Scroll of Thunderstrike?
Yeah, just have that
Heck
open.
yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so Ogden, I'll add your existing initiative. Everyone else can do perception unless you have an argument for a different skill you think would be relevant right now.
perception. Perception's good.
Perception's good. All right, and Ogden, you did beat the creature's perception roll for initiative. So, go ahead and describe how you are sneaking up and attacking them first.
I kind of like move along the wall to see if it's reacting at all, but then once it doesn't, I kind of just charge up to it and swing.
Yeah, so you like watch it for a bit and you're sneaking up a little closer and it kind of like half turns around at one point and you duck away, but it was like half turning to like scratch its rear a little bit, and then it turns back and then you can attack. So roll to attack.
Okay, so with sneaking around and running up to it, do I only get 2 or do I get 3 attacks?
Just your first action was moving up. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a hit.
Absolutely.
There's 13 damage.
Youch.
It's also flat-footed. I don't know if that makes that a crit.
It does not make it a crit, but it is still a hit. I will apply
Okay.
off guard for the future though.
And then second, ooh,
That is a crit.
and there is 20 damage.
That actually would have been a crit without off guard even.
And now it is off guard until the start of my next turn.
Off guard to you specifically, I believe, right?
It just says becoming off guard. Target is
Oh,
made
shit.
off balance by your attack, becoming off guard until the start
yeah.
of my next turn.
All right, you guys are just gonna decimate this thing. So the creature yelps and stands up as you just run up and stab it and spins around. It's like, what do you want? Who are you? No, you will not. And it seems to kind of step between you and the muck pit. Like there's something in there. It's defending, like, from you. And then it is going to just make a jaw attack against you, I guess. Or a claw attack, rather. That will target you. There we go. Bah, that's a critical hit. For 40 points of damage to Ogden. It turns around, and this thing, like, suddenly, with a rush of adrenaline, just spins and slashes at you with its claws. It's going to strike with its claws again. Multi-attack penalty. That is a regular hit. Ogden takes 14 points of damage.
That's me unconscious.
Ogden falls unconscious. And dying. Oops, we both added it. You can remove one. I won't touch it. So Ogden rushes in, stabs this thing, provokes it, and just spins and slash, slash, just chops Ogden down to the floor. And you know what?
Well,
The
it wouldn't be a
creature...
Pathfinder game if Ogden didn't go down.
It's true. And the creature does not know anyone else is here yet. And it has a rend action, which it can use on a turn if it hits a creature with 2 claw attacks in that round. So it's going to do that, because that's what its plan was anyways if he didn't go down. It's just ferociously tearing into Ogden. So the rend action just automatically repeats the last hit of damage. So 14 more points of damage, which will put Ogden at dying 2. Then it is Ashay's turn.
At least I made it off guard to everyone.
Come on.
You did.
My little dog. Come on.
I am going to heal
girl.
Ogden.
Ready, girl, come.
Hey, Jeb,
25
you're,
points of healing.
you're not muted, Jeb.
Oh, sorry.
All good. 25 points of healing to Ogden.
Yep.
Heal. No longer dying, but wounded.
Healing does remove wounded.
Treat wounds does.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, the wounded condition would not really do much if any healing removed it. I think it's a silly rule with the way it works, because why would healing magic be worse than traditional healing? But that's just how they made it. So that's what it is.
I mean, it kind of makes sense because if you're like sitting down and healing someone, you know where to like suture better.
Yeah, it's just silly that like the regenerate spell, which can make you regrow an arm or multiple arms, doesn't remove the wounded condition. But it's just funny. It is what it is. I've heard some people say maybe the wounded condition should have been called like the near-death experience condition or something like that. It's like your body being drained, and healing magic like drains you, even if it heals your wounds or something. I don't know. Anyways, regardless, you are still wounded. Just wounded 1, and you are alive. Shay, was that move and spell, or was that just spell?
I don't think I moved, but I would use my reach ability for that third action.
What ability? Sorry.
Whatever distance spell or something.
Oh, okay, yes. I see what you're saying now. Yes, so you had to increase the range and spell to reach him. Got it. Okay. Makes sense. So then it is Ayala's turn.
Alright, I'll use my first action to move, because I'm still up on the altar. 3, 4, 5. Oh, there it is. 6, 7, and 8. It's a lot of movement.
It is. I think you might actually have stepped 1 too many. Every other diagonal is 10 feet. Yeah, the first diagonal is 5, second diagonal is 10, third diagonal is 5, and so on.
5, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Okay.
So just 1 too many. They were pretty close. All right. Cool.
Unfortunately, I had to move, which means I can't trick magic item. But we can do some gaming. I want to use aerial boomerang. I haven't done that yet.
All right.
So, DC 21 basic reflex save.
Reflex save. Pass. So half damage.
Alright. For 11 cut in half.
Okay.
As a part of that action, I'm gonna float over here, and my boomerang, which we have to keep track of, I'd like that to be... How do I ping?
Hold to click.
Right there.
Okay. Can you place a template there, maybe?
Sure.
Just like a little 1 square template. That's a good way to keep track of random things like this. Yeah. Alright, so your boomerang's there. What does that do?
It whirls in place until the end of my next turn, and if a creature ends its turn in the square, it has to save against the boomerang, and at the end of my next turn, on my next turn, I can use a single action to return the boomerang to me, and it does damage again.
That's cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
Alright. So, Jib, you're up.
Okay. Jib is gonna run on over to this guy. Yeah, he can make it there. And then he will flurry.
All right. That is a hit.
Right. Yeah, second one. Oh, nice. That does hit too.
It does. Thanks to Ogden's crit.
Ooh. 13 and 18 damage, and then also stunning strike.
Ah, fortitude save, right?
Yeah.
34.
Yeah, they pass. And then, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. No, so is it on a pass? Nothing happens.
Yeah, I pass him.
Okay.
And then I will use my third attack. Okay. That is my turn.
All right. You rush up and do a couple monkey punches. Ogden, you are alive, but you are on the ground, face first into the marble floor. What you doing?
I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna
Alright.
pick up my smoking sword, and I'm going to slash.
Hell yeah.
Because going unconscious, you do drop your weapons. It's just prone does not.
Right. Yes, unconscious does. That's correct. It
Well,
just so
that's a critical
happens
hit.
that is. It just so happens that unconscious also makes you prone, so it's easy confusion.
For 16 damage. Oh, that's so
Sheesh.
low.
Still a bunch of damage.
And
It
is
appears
now
that
off guard.
it also appears that when you stab it with a smoking sword, you notice, you probably saw this before, but you know, it was such a brief flash before this thing spun and just absolutely rocked your shit. But now that you're awake again and you're kind of getting your senses, you stab it with a smoking sword, and you see the wounds you've made previously. It's almost like its blood is flammable. The fire like arcs along the surface of its skin and burns into all of the wounds, as if this thing is just full of like very flammable fat or something, very flammable oil. It just screams in pain, like, ah, no, no fire, no more fire. So it's turn. And I'm sorry, Ogden, it's very terrified of your fire right now. Claw attack.
I knew this was going to happen right as you said fire is bad.
Yes. So it does 26 to hit, which is a hit. 19 points of damage. I believe you're still up. It's going to swing again with a multi-attack penalty. Another hit. You go down.
Uh-oh.
You go to dying 2 because of your wounded value. This is going to be potentially pretty bad for you, Ogden, because it is just going to take the rend action again, I think. Because it's terrified of your fire. I think it makes the most sense here. It does not want you coming back with the fire. So you're going to go to dying 3, which puts you right on the edge of dying, I believe. I believe it's when you hit dying 4, you die. Yes, if you reach dying 4, you die. Ogden is in a very dire condition at the moment. Ashay, what are you doing?
Make a basic reflex save.
Basic reflex save, the boomerang! 22.
Ah, shit.
Half damage?
Yeah. For half of 9 damage.
Bop. Alright. Then it's Ashay's turn. Another reach heal?
Yep, but has to be level 1 this time.
That'll keep him alive. Heal. No longer dying, but wounded 2. Ayla's turn, as Ashay is just spamming curing spells on the poor tank Ogden to keep him alive.
Oh.
Ayla's turn.
It's time to cook.
All right, we're cooking.
Lightning dash. I'm gonna use my impulse to float over here before dashing.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna make a happy little line. And end up in the square above Jib.
All right.
And that is a basic reflex save.
Basic reflex save. 19.
That's a failure.
And a 19.
That's another failure. That's 20 damage, electricity.
You go zoom across this area, and as you pass over the muck pit, you can see that something you thought was maybe like a rock in there or just a pile of mud. It shrieks in pain as you pass over, and it was actually a boar. As you zip through the space, the keyword was. You just zap lightning through both of these creatures, and the boar just like kicks back and then collapses to the floor and just is no longer breathing after that shock to its system. And this creature turns around, reaches out to the boar, says, "No, no," and then collapses to the floor.
Without looking back, I'd like to spend my third action to recall my boomerang of air.
We'll say then that's your how do you want to do this, as the boomerang, the troll is reaching out towards the boar and is like, "No, Bori, no," and then slice straight through it, and it's gone. You can see some process inside this creature tries to revive it. Its body like convulses and the wounds are trying to heal as blood pours from the wounds and tries to stitch themselves closed, but the fire that is burning within this corpse completely eliminates that possibility. You guys are out of combat.
Alright, I'm gonna treat wounds on Ogden.
Can I help? Just in case.
Yes, you can. Give me a medicine check.
Does it have to be medicine or can it be nature?
I think for helping, it should be medicine. Because Eshe is using medicine, not nature.
Heck.
Okay, so you do not successfully help.
I'm gonna use a hero point on that.
Ooh, hero point. Let's go.
Oh, thank goodness.
Eshe does successfully heal Ogden, who is no longer wounded.
Alright, so that's a normal success?
Yes.
15 points of healing for Ogden.
You. I'm also gonna. Are we gonna spend an hour to make that 30? If not, I'm gonna chug a lesser healing potion.
I was also gonna do a 3-action heal to get everybody a little bit more.
America.
Oh.
Very tiny bit more.
It's so unfortunate. I'm so sorry.
Alright.
Yeah. I tried to help, so I can't patch anyone else up.
I get the feeling that Cure 3 or Heal 3 is almost more like a turn undead effect that you use when you're fighting undead than like an actual helpful heal. But it does do some healing. It's just, yeah, it's funny. All right. Are you guys spending the hour? I didn't quite catch that.
I can if we want to.
I think we probably should. I could also use a bit of healing, and I can take the time to heal myself.
Alright, I will spend the hour to give Ogden 15 more points of healing.
Thank you.
I'm gonna heal myself then in the meantime. Actually, how much damage have you taken, Jib?
Jib looks to be roughly 60 out of 80.
Okay, I'll give
Yeah,
healing
I
to
was trying to
Jib.
get up you.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Poor Jib.
hey,
O'Shea
Ella, why does it
smears
always hurt when you heal me?
more ash in the wound.
I'm not having a good day on this front. I'm sorry, Jib.
Hey, you all were there when I knocked myself unconscious trying to patch myself up.
True.
I just out of shame again, and Jib the healing potion that I was just given by Ogden.
Just drinks it.
There you go. Much better.
Wait, was that a lesser or a minor that you used on?
Oh
Uh,
yeah, what was it?
it was
I had
whichever one you gave me, and I didn't write it down.
You got a lesser. So that
Okay.
should be 2d8 plus 5.
Ooh.
2D plus 5. Oh damn.
Which I'm actually going to chug one myself. Ooh! Select at least one token. What do you mean select at least one token? My token selected. Silly.
All right. So with everybody patched up decently well, where to?
Well, it looks like there's one more door.
Is there anything hidden in this room?
Yeah, perception check. You find a shield in the muck pit. It looks like something was thrown in here to like dishonor it specifically, Ogden. It's a sturdy shield that is like marked with an emblem of Sarenrae on it. Yeah.
Shay, does this have any magic on it?
Alright, does it? What do I do? Crack Arcana?
Do you have detect magic? The cantrip.
Thought I did.
I think
Sure.
yeah, I think we've gone over this before, and you've got it eventually.
Yes, I do have it.
All right, it does have magic. Yes.
Alright, I would like to identify it.
Okay, roll Arcana. It is a sturdy shield, as I let slip too early. It is reinforced with magic, basically. It's harder to break, it absorbs more damage, that kind of stuff.
We just figured out like 20-30 minutes ago.
You're not muted, Jip.
Alright, I will share that it is a shield that has been made more sturdy by magic.
I will put it against the wall, as I will not be using it, and it will probably make me over encumbered. But we should take it with us to Sam.
I did put it in your backpack. I don't know if you're encumbered yet. Maybe you are, but if you want to not put it in your backpack, then oh yeah, you probably are encumbered actually.
I'm at 9,4L dash encumbered 9. I don't know what that means.
I think you'd get the effect of encumbered. You'd notice it. So I think you're not encumbered yet.
Okay.
Otherwise, this room seems pretty simple. Like this creature was keeping a boar in here, and so there's like muck and food and like hay for the troll to sleep on, but not really much. So yeah.
Mm.
Sneak in
Sneaky
the door.
doors.
It's a very short hallway to another door.
Are there any traps?
Perception check.
Fine perception.
No, looks like a pretty short, just like it doesn't look like a hallway that's meant to be taken very often. Like it looks like a utility hallway, basically. It's not fancy or anything, but yeah,
Is it
no
supposed to be
traps.
dark?
Yeah, there's torches in the room behind you, but like they're just at shadow angles in here. So there's no torches in this hallway.
Well, I have dark vision. I should be able to see.
Maybe Foundry's not applying that correctly. What does your dark vision actually say?
I took the Dark Seer feat.
Yes, I'm just not
Uh,
familiar. Dark vision might not
someone
work the same in this game as it does in D&D.
someone smiles upon you, even if you curse his name, granting you pitch black eyes that allow you to see in shadows and darkness.
So you gain dark vision, which should be listed on your. Let's just dark vision.
It says I have senses dark vision, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, I that makes sense. I'm just double checking because I know low light vision is weird and different. Um, you gain dark vision. It's awesome that there's no listed thing for dark vision. Just spells like, yeah, you gain dark vision. You gain dark vision. You gain dark vision. What does dark vision do? There we go. Dark vision and greater dark vision. Okay, so you get black and white vision in the darkness. So I think I can just edit your token vision mode. Yeah, does that work? That changed anything or no?
I still don't see the hallway. Let me refresh. See if it...
How about that? No.
Well,
Oh,
everything's black and white now.
yeah, it's because I changed it. Okay. Detection modes. Oh, okay. Detection modes. God, this is complicated.
Because Jib has dark vision too.
Vision range. Does it say a range to your dark vision?
No, it just says I gain dark vision.
This is so weird.
Let me look at this. You gain dark
This Foundry's
vision.
still asking for a range, so I'll just give you 1,000. 1 million. There you go. Now you can see the hallway.
Ooh!
And should Jib have had this whole time and Foundry just never gave it to you? That would be funny. Yes.
That would also be tragic.
That would be tragic. That is tragic. I'm gonna give Jib 1,000,000 feet of dark vision as well. There you go. Now you can see the hallway.
Sweet.
We'll fix it by the end of the campaign, you know.
Well,
all right.
We sneaky sneak next door, I guess.
It is a storage room. You can see piles of books and crates and all sorts of stuff. It's dark. There's no torches in here, but you have dark vision. In fact, I'll just let you see through the door. You can see what you see down there. Just a whole bunch of messy stuff.
All right, I see cobwebs. I will ask Shay if she hears any spiders. Spiders. Does a
One
Shay?
sec. Rolling.
Nope, you don't hear anything. It's a pretty quiet, still room, like just storage.
Okay, I will step into it.
All right.
Nothing?
Nope.
Okay, I will walk to the other door and open it.
Leads into the room where you fought the owlbears. The oil bears. And as Ashay enters the room, because Ashay was not sneaking, unless you want to retroactively be sneaking, but if you saw Ogden go through and didn't encounter anything, that's up to you.
Yep.
Okay.
I will just be following.
So as you enter the room, then all of a sudden, hold on, let me double check which order of events happen. Lily is going crazy right now. Double check the orders of events here. Okay, yes. There's a chair next to the door as you enter, and as Ashay enters non-sneakily, the chair bares teeth and it lashes out at you. And also one of the statues starts moving. So these things are going to roll for initiative, and everybody can give me initiative rolls. Perception, and Ogden can be stealth. I guess I'll just use Ogden's previous stealth. There we go.
Are you going to use my previous perception?
Yes, I can use your previous perception. There you go. You guys are all entered into the thing. I can roll for the enemies. And now we begin the encounter. Okay. So, one of the statues starts moving as Ashay enters the room. And so it is going to just move right over to Ashay directly and do a bit of a claw attack. Target Ashay. Bam! Critical hits. 20 points of slashing damage. Wow! It is going to then do another claw attack. Multi-attack penalty. Regular hits. 9 points of slashing damage to Ashay. Then it is Ayla's turn from the previous room.
Alright, from downtown.
From downtown.
Hold on, let me measure.
I will say, pre-combat going through doors, I had my smoking sword out, but my sparking sword was sheathed.
Makes sense. You'd need a free hand to open doors and stuff.
They'll never see it coming. Wait, is this a line area? Oh god, oh fuck. I don't want to... No, it is... Okay. Does this, slate creature have any metal, or is it just all stone?
It appears to be... You've seen one of these before. It appears to be a gargoyle.
Okay. I think I would like to trick magic item for Thunderstrike.
Okay.
Does a 31 pass?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Unfortunately, it's only a DC 13 basic reflex save.
Is it just one target?
Yeah.
To one target,
Just
basic
the
reflex save.
one I can see.
Okay. 19, pass.
Okay. Well, it still takes half of 25 electricity and sonic damage.
Alright. You zap into it, and the statue buckles under the pressure of all this sonic damage, especially. So it kind of gets knocked back away from Ashay a little bit, but then it catches its balance.
I'm gonna rub my hands together a little bit and just whisper to myself, ooh, that was fun. And then I have to roll deception. Ah, heck!
Nope. Nope. You did not deceive. Is that your turn?
I'm just gonna hope that Ashe and everyone else are more focused on the imminent threats than me having sparks fly out of my spellbook and drop the spellbook because it's sparking at me.
The narrator says they were not. It is Ogden's turn.
Alright, I'm gonna move over here, and
It's flanked.
since chair seems more flammable and it has not moved yet, it is off
Ooh.
guard to me.
True. I will apply off guard.
So that is a critical hit
hit.
for 30 damage.
Holy
Oh my
shit.
god. Bam! And it's going to remain off guard to you for the rest of the
Do
round.
you ever just roll the same to hit and damage?
So I'm gonna attack it again, and that is miss. Can I
That is a
hero
miss.
point that?
Sure. You got one to spare.
That
is
is
a
a
hit.
hit.
Thanks to your off guard, that's a hit. Otherwise, it would have been a miss.
And that is
So
another
was-
18.
Holy shit. Alright, you go up and wham, wham. You stab into it twice, and all of a sudden, you feel like your blade is harder to pull out of it when you stab it the second time. Give me a reflex save. Okay. You are grabbed. As this thing emits like a slime, like its blood is almost a slime that sort of congeals
Right.
over your blade and up your hand. Yes?
Can I hero point that?
Sure.
Oh.
Oh, that's a critical fail.
Uh-oh.
I am
there's
consumed.
there is no critical fail effect. You're just grabbed.
Okay, cool.
Where the fuck is grabbed on this list? Jesus, why can I not find this? There we go. Okay, you'd think alphabetical order would help, but I never remember if it's alphabetical vertical or alphabetical horizontal, and I never find anything. Okay. So, you're grabbed. You will have to, like, pry your weapon free if you want to get it out. Right now it's stuck to the mimic.
Mm.
Ashe's turn.
They're both off guard.
I am going to move back.
Okay. You'd have to move multiple spaces because Jib's there, but yes. What's the goal of your movement? Sorry, trying to figure out the rules here. You
I
can
am
move
trying to
through.
find a good space to do cry of destruction.
Ah,
Ooh.
Can I move around the furniture stuff?
yeah, it'd be difficult terrain to get through the furniture, but you could do that.
Stepping diagonally into that, how much is it?
10 feet.
And then diagonally into the back corner?
10 feet. Oh, sorry, that back corner. That would be 15 feet.
But this one would be 10 feet?
Yes. So, sorry. You started here, so you could move
Yes.
here for 10 feet, or you could move here for 10 feet. If you want to get to this back corner, it would be 20 feet total, or 20 feet total for here, either way.
Alright, I'm aiming for here.
Alright, so that's 20 feet of movement. Ah, Jib is protected by the angle of the door. Very nice.
Alright, 21 basic fortitude save.
Basic fortitude save. 1 failure, 1 pass.
Can you make that not blind? I forgot to switch to public for the combat.
Yes. 17, so it's a basic fortitude, so the 1 fail takes regular damage. Okay. Bop. This one takes half damage. Alright. And that was move and spell, so it is Jib's turn.
That's my turn.
Alright, Jib. Gonna spend 1 action to move. Spend another action to gorilla stance. Oh, how the fuck? Oh my god, this puppy. Come here. Yeah, come this way. Sorry. And then for final action, he's gonna. Actually, you know what? Instead of gorilla stancing, he's gonna go for the tail spin.
Ooh. What is that, a reflex save?
It is a single athletics roll.
Oh, okay.
I don't really know.
So it's trip athletics, so it's your athletics roll versus their fortitude, I believe. Let me double check that. Reflex, actually. It's your fortitude versus their reflex DC. Alright, so their reflex DCs, that passes on both of them, so it becomes a critical success on both of them.
Hell yeah.
So they're both prone. Jib runs in and just knocks them both over. We hear a bowling ball sound effect of pins being knocked over. And they take some damage, right?
Yeah, it looks like we take 1d6 bludgeoning damage each.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
three.
Well, it appears the statue did not seem to care about being knocked over. I mean, he's knocked over, but it didn't hurt him. But the chair did get hurt by being knocked over.
That is my turn.
All right. It is the chair's turn. The chair has Ogden in his grasp, so it is going to strike. With a pseudopod. Miss. Multi-attack. Miss. Second multi-attack. Miss. It tried its best. It probably should have gotten up, but that's fine. It's just, you know, it's a mimic. It doesn't need to stand up. It's just swinging.
It is consumed.
It is. Gargoyle is going to stand up. Which I believe triggers an attack of opportunity, Ogden, because that is a move action.
My sword is held,
Oh,
so I don't
yes.
believe I'm able to.
You can punch
As much
it.
as I would love to attack.
Yeah, your sword's caught. Your reflex triggers, and you like look at him ready to strike, but you can't pull your sword out of the chair, unfortunately.
Can I just punch him? I know it's stone, but...
You can just punch him. I mean, if you want to use your... Yeah, go for it. Okay. Give me, your critical punch damage then. Oh my god.
I just pop it right in the head.
Bam!
Wait. Oh, that went against the wrong
sorry.
person.
It did. I will undo that damage. There we go. And then 16 points to this guy. Oh, you still had target. I see. That's why it did that. Okay. It seems to not hurt him as much as you expected. You are punching a statue, so maybe that is as much as you expected. But it feels like a full 16 points of critical damage didn't really go through. You know what I mean? But because he's a statue. So he stood up. You know what? Jib knocked him over. He's gonna target Jib. And he's going to claw attack at Jib. Miss. Multi-attack. Miss. Ayla's turn.
Ayla's turn. Is Ogden out of smoking sword for the day? Or is it the electricity one that has a limit?
They both have the limit. I believe I used the sparking blade already.
Well, I'll use my first action to move. Wait, no. I'm gonna go back to where I started. I'm gonna use my first action to pick up my book. I'm gonna use my second action to move. And I'll use my third action to electrify the chair.
Zap.
Does a 25 hit?
It does, since it is off guard, even through cover, they'll get it.
For 5 electricity damage.
It gets shocked a little bit, and Ogden has to kind of let go of the sword for a second as the electricity goes up his sword, then he regrips it. And then it is Ogden's turn.
Alright, so is it just my sword that's grabbed, or is it actually me?
Both you and your sword are grabbed. You can make an athletics check to break your sword free, and then you can make an attack roll to break yourself free. Those are separate actions.
Oh, that is rough.
Yeah.
Wait, does it not resist electricity damage? Like, wood is a good insulator, right?
Does what?
The chair.
Oh, I mean, it's not actually a chair, it's just pretending.
Right. It's a creature that is fleshy, but also chair-like.
It looks like a chair, yeah. It's a chair with teeth. But yes, Ogden. So it's a separate action to break yourself and your sword free. Although you can attack while grabbed, you're just immobilized. And you need a flat check to manipulate. But you don't need to manipulate to attack, so you're basically you're off guard from being grabbed, but otherwise it doesn't affect your attacks, so whatever you want to do with that.
Well, it only has one of my hands.
Sure.
I'm gonna throw caution to the wind. I'm gonna draw my other sword. And attack it with that. So 1 critical hit.
That is a critical hit.
For 20 damage.
That is an extremely dead chair.
Alright, cool. The next one, I'm then going to use... Oh, I can't use Exacting Strike. Well, I'm just going to target the gargoyle with my smoking sword. Oops, that's multi-attack. That is a miss. Even with the flanking, I believe.
Good try. Cachet's turn.
Alright. Produce flame targeting our stone friend.
Hit! Blam! You strike him with the flame, and he's still trying to attack Jib for tripping him, and the flame gets to him, and he kind of raises up one of his gargoyle wings to block it, but it's clearly starting to wear on him, and the blow of the fire to his wing kind of knocks him backwards, and he's stumbling, and he's hardly staying on his feet at this point. Well, that's 2 actions, right? You still have another action?
Yeah, and then I am going to cast Guidance on Ogden.
Alright, and then it is Jib's turn.
Okay. Jib is going to. Is this guy? He's not prone anymore, is it?
He got up, yeah.
Okay. Jib will gorilla stance now. And then he will flurry.
Pop, pop. That is a hit.
Nice. I'll hero point that.
I don't think you can hero point... oh, you're rolling the second. I see. Okay, I thought it was damage for some reason.
Yeah.
Yes, you can hero point that.
Did I not roll damage for some reason?
No, but we can roll both damage after.
No.
Still a miss. You get 1 hit of damage, though.
And I do think I still get stunning strike.
Yes. Although, you won't need it. Because... Jib. For the final combat encounter of this campaign, how do you want to do this?
Jib, as this guy is getting up, is just going to uppercut him right in the face and he'll just flip right over.
Just bah! Yeah, and the gargoyle flies backwards, lands on the floor, and you can see like his head has been kind of cracked by that, and he's no longer moving. You guys have defeated the storage room.
That supposedly didn't have any enemies.
All right. Speed run of looking through the room since it's 9:30. I'll just give you the stuff in here because why not? Might as well just add up to your high score of how many gold points you get at the end of the campaign. You find a lockbox carved with elven runes. It's actually it actually appears empty, but you look a little deeper and you find out that it has a false bottom. And there's a pair of boots and a weird little emerald statue thingy. Looks like a grasshopper. That's pretty much the only thing of value you find in here, but you could identify those items potentially.
Does the I can read Elven. Does it say anything in particular?
Doesn't say. So I'm gonna say it says storage box in Elven. It's very important words.
All right.
Do the boots have the fur?
They are boots with the fur, yeah.
Detect magic.
They are
What's
both
above?
magic. The chest is not, but the 2 items that were in it are.
All
Can
right.
I poke them with my book to make sure they aren't more mimics?
Your book doesn't stick to them, so they're not more mimics.
Good enough for me.
So 2 Arcana checks. Yep.
Yep. 1, 2.
All right. So the first, the boots are boots of elven kind. They give you a +1 bonus to acrobatics checks. And you can occasionally activate a buff on them that gives you the ability to ignore difficult terrain and some other stuff like that. Fancy boots. The little statuette thingy is called an emerald grasshopper. Is this little statue of a grasshopper made of emeralds. Usually like attach it to your armor by like letting the little claws of the grasshopper grip onto armor, and then you can, as an action, activate it and do a leap action at the same time, the same action, and that leap action can travel up to 40 feet horizontally or 10 feet vertically as you do a big grasshopper hop.
I will look at it and say, "It's for you, Jib."
I like it.
And then the boots, I will explain what they do and let people decide.
Boots with the fur.
With the fur.
Who wants them boots?
I'll take some boots if no one wants them.
Go for it.
Boots with the fur. All
With
right.
the fur.
Thank you all for playing. You guys have successfully cleared out this dungeon. Etc. So basically, next time we'll have one last like closing session as you guys head back to town and you talk with the NPCs there and like hand over the quest items and you get your congratulations and celebrations and all that. Then we'll just skip over the travel because that's not interesting. But you'll spend a couple hours and when you arrive in town you'll be heroes again for the 5th time or whatever. And yeah, that should be a fun little role-playing session. Might be a short one. We'll see how much role-playing we get into, but yeah, thank you guys for joining me. We'll wrap this all up next week.
All right, thanks for running.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
running.
Thank you.